Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of CompTIA's Trend Watch, where we give you a little bit of this and a little bit of that from the research we've been doing in the tech space. Today we're going to be talking about digital fluency. And what in the world is digital fluency? It is a concept that a lot of HR managers are starting to look at more and more as they're hiring for their positions, not just in the technology groups, but across the company. And digital fluency, I think, can be thought of as the next step beyond digital literacy, which is a concept that a lot of people have talked about for a couple of decades now. And digital literacy means that you are able to use all of the tools that we have today. Like you're able to browse the internet, you're able to use business applications, you know how to use these things. I think digital fluency, the way that I think about it is, if digital literacy is about how to use the tools, digital fluency is what the tools are doing under the covers, at least a little bit. You don't know exactly all of the guts of these applications, but you kind of understand how they work. And so if you're presented with something new, you can adjust to that and you can kind of build from your previous experience to lean into these new tools. And I think the reason that it's becoming important for companies is because so many companies are not just taking packaged software these days and using it. They're taking software and they're building customizations, or they might be building their own applications in-house. And they really need employees who can move fluently between applications and pick up new skills. And I think that we see this in the data when we ask companies specifically what kind of skills are they looking for. And we see things like cybersecurity or data literacy or artificial intelligence. These are all things that tend to be parts and features of broader applications. And so if you're using a spreadsheet application, or if you're using your email, or if you're using a CRM system, it's important to know what the cybersecurity parts of that might be, or it's important to know kind of how the data is flowing, so that then if you move into a new tool, you can maybe bring some of that learning with you and be as productive and efficient as possible. So in our recent survey of HR managers, we saw that there was a relatively even split between those that said that they were going to focus on digital literacy and those that were going to focus on digital fluency in a lot of their upcoming hiring. And then you've got a group in the middle that says that they're going to have a balanced approach between the two. I think the interesting question to ask is, who exactly are those efforts being focused on? So those HR managers that might be talking about digital literacy, they might be talking about non-technical employees. They might be talking about groups of people that maybe are even just starting to use technology as technology devices and applications are being made more broadly available to different types of job roles. Whereas those HR managers that are talking about digital fluency might already be thinking about the technology workforce, or those workers in business units that are using technology pretty adeptly, and they want to kind of extend that ability. So I think that there will be a focus on both literacy and fluency as HR workers continue to think about how they're developing the workforce and how they're hiring. And HR managers and HR professionals aren't exempt from this either. We're seeing that they need a lot of digital fluency to work with their HR tech stack. Some studies have found that large companies have up to 80 different HR applications within the company that these HR professionals are using for different parts of the job. And I think we're starting to see a lot more complexity. And the reason that you have so many of those tools is that HR managers are starting to focus in on not just the blocking and tackling of hiring and bringing people in and kind of doing payroll and doing all the basic things, but they're starting to try to use more complex tools to dig into thorny issues like burnout or some restlessness that might lead to job hopping, or low morale that could lead to disengagement. All of these things ultimately lead to lower productivity. And so HR professionals are going beyond some of the simple tools that they've used in the past to expand their technology stack. And that means that they need to expand their own digital fluency, even as that's something that they're hiring for or trying to train. So you can find out more about this in our Workforce and Learning Trends report. And that's it for today's episode. We hope we'll see you next time on Trend Watch.